Hello student, today we are going to see magnetic effect of electric current, all the formulas revision. It's very useful for the student, those who are preparing for the board exam. So if you like my channel, please subscribe. It's very important formulas we are going to discuss, and small logic also we are going to discuss. If once you observe this formula, you no need to go through in a book, easily you can understand all the formulas what is there in this particular chapter. Okay. The first formula I am going to give as the Biot-Savart law. Biot-Savart law. It's a statement the magnetic field produced due to the wire, okay, when the current is flowing, what is the magnetic field produced at any point, okay. So we can use this law, the magnetic field is equal to mu naught divided by 4 pi. It's a constant, magnetic field constant. I is the current is flowing, dl is the length of this, sin theta, the angle of point we are taken, okay, it's perpendicular means maximum, 0 means it will come on the wire, it will be minimum, theta will be 90 degree, it will become perpendicular to the wire, 0 degree it will become on the wire, okay. So now divided by r square is the distance where you want to measure the magnetic field. So this is called Biot-Savart law. The next thing, vector form of Biot-Savart law. The same formula only in vector form I am going to write mu naught divided by 4 pi I dl cross, it is a sign, cross product or unit vector divided by r square. Okay, when you are writing this kind of vector, you will write r cube. When you are writing unit vector, no need to write as a cube. Okay, instead of writing sign, you can make it as a cross product. Okay. So it's going to be vector form of Biot-Savart law. So now I am writing is a unit vector, so no need to make it as a cube. If in case you are writing as a vector format, write it here as a cube. Okay. The next thing, second formula, magnetic field due to the straight wire current carrying conductor. It's infinite. What is the magnetic field at the point here? B is equal to question mark at r distance from the wire. Okay. So it's going to be B is equal to mu naught is the constant, I is the current is flowing in a circuit, and divided by 2 pi A. Okay. The next one, 2 pi A or 2 pi R, whatever you want you can take it, mu naught I divided by 2 pi R. The next one, third formula, magnetic field due to the circular current carrying conductor, circular wire current carrying conductor. I current is flowing in a circular wire. A is the radius of the wire, x is the distance from the center, okay. So this is r is distance from the wire, okay. X is the distance from the center, a is the radius of the wire. R is equal to root of a square plus x square. Here only I want what is the magnetic field. At the point of P, I want what is the magnetic field. B is equal to mu naught I r square divided by 2 pi r square plus x square. Okay, it is r square plus x square 3 divided by 2. When x is 0, the point is going to become at the center. So we will get what is the magnetic field at the center when x is 0. Okay. The next formula, Ampere's circuit law. So fourth formula, Ampere circuit law. Closed integral of BDL is equal to mu naught I. B is the magnetic field, DL is the length, closed integral length is going to be the surface is going to be closed, whether it's a square or circle, the closed integral, mu naught is the constant, I is the current is flowing, okay. It is the Ampere circuit law. Fifth one, what is the magnetic field due to the straight wire current carrying conductor using Ampere circuit law? Before we learned Biot-Savart law, and we are going to learn what is the Ampere circuit law, what is the magnetic field. Magnetic field is equal to mu naught I divided by 2 pi R. Now also I am getting the same formula because it's a straight wire current carrying conductor, okay. So easily we can solve this equation. When the straight wire current is carrying conductor, circular magnetic field will be produced. I am taken, this is the closed integral of BDL. So magnetic field with length, okay, integral of dl will be 2 pi r, circumference of the circle. Okay, if you are taken r radius, it's going to be b times of 2 pi r. Circumference of the circle magnetic field is produced is equal to mu naught I according to the Ampere circuit law. So if you want b is equal to mu naught I divided by 2 pi r. So it is a magnetic field due to the straight wire current carrying conductor. Okay. The next one, solenoid coil. What is a magnetic field due to the solenoid coil? So it is a formula number 7. Magnetic field due to the solenoid coil. B is equal to mu naught times of N I. N is the number of turns or number of turns per unit length also. Okay, N will be capital N divided by small n also, number of turns per unit length, or small n, whatever you want, you can take it. Okay, the next one, the same solenoid coil I placed material inside. Okay, some material, X material we placed. Now what is the magnetic field? So B is equal to mu times of Ni, mu times of Ni. I used material. Okay, so it's going to be mu relative permeability into permeability in air Ni. So with mu r you should multiple. That is a difference between this formula and this formula. Okay, this value is depend on the what material you are using. Relative permeability is depend on the what material you are using. Okay, the next formula. Formula number 8. Lorentz force. Lorentz force is used to find the force direction when the charge is moving inside the magnetic field. Okay, Lorentz force is equal to Q times of VB sin theta. If you don't want to write as a sin theta, you can write the equation is in a vector format. When you want to remove the sin theta, sin vector, just you should add as a cross product. Okay, so we'll get the equation like this. Force is equal to force is a vector, force is equal to charge times of velocity is the vector into magnetic field is the vector. When you don't want to write as a sin theta, write as a cross product. Okay, this is used to find the force direction when the current or charge moving in a magnetic field perpendicular to the magnetic field. 9. When the electric field plus magnetic field together is there, electric field, magnetic field is together is there, what is the force? Force is equal to first electric field QE, then magnetic field QVB. It's a cross product. Okay, if you are taken Q as a common, electric field E plus V cross B. It is a total force, Lorentz force, when electric and magnetic field both together is there. Okay. The next thing, 10th formula. So when the charge moving in a magnetic field, when the charge is moving in a magnetic field, so we have many questions in this. Okay, what is the time period, what is the radius, what is the velocity? It's going to move in a circular path. When the charge is moving in a magnetic field, it's going to move in a circular path. Okay, first we will see what is the radius. Radius is equal to mass into velocity divided by strength of magnetic field and the charge what is moving. Okay, and the next one, what is the angular speed? Because it's moving in a circular. Okay, what is the angular speed? It's going to be the omega. So omega is equal to BQ divided by M. What is the time period? Time period T is equal to 2 pi by omega, because omega is equal to 2 pi by T. T is equal to 2 pi by omega. Omega I got, it is 1 divided by BQ divided by M. So 2 pi M divided by BQ. Okay. So your time period is not dependent on the radius. Okay, that also you should know, it's important question. It is time period. Time period is equal to 2 pi. M is the mass of the charge, moving charge. B is the magnetic field. Q is a charge. Okay. The next thing, frequency of the charge moving in a circular orbit. It's opposite to that. 1 by time period is going to be BQ divided by 2 pi M. Okay. Question number 11. I have two wires. Okay. So I current is flowing on the wire. I current is flowing on the wire. When both the wire current is upwards, the force will be pulled towards. When it is opposite, the force will be move outwards. Okay. So this equation only we are going to learn, force per unit length. It's a very important question. Okay, it's 11th formula. Force per unit length. What is the force per unit length is produced? F1 force, L1 length, F2 force, L2 length. One wire due to second wire. Okay. So both is equal value only. It is going to be mu naught I1 I2 dl divided by 2 pi r. This what we will get. Okay. The next thing, define ampere. Okay, it's a define ampere. Under this, define ampere. Define ampere is a very basic term we are going to define. Okay, when the current is 1 ampere, length is 1 meter, here we won't get dl because here we got dl. Okay, current is 1 ampere, I1 is equal to I2 is equal to 1 ampere. Distance between two wire, distance between two wire I am taken here, it is r is equal to 1 meter. Okay, when this is happening, no, we'll get force per unit length is equal to mu naught. Mu naught is a 4 pi into 10 power minus 7 divided by 2 pi, remaining everything 1 1. It's this getting cancelled, it's going to be 2 into 10 power minus 7 Newton by meter, force per unit length. So when we are defining the ampere, when the current is flowing through the two parallel wires, current is 1 ampere, the length we are taken as a distance between these two is we are taken as 1 meter, and the length of the wire is 1 meter. Okay, what is the force of attraction or repulsion produced between the two wires, that we can take it as a ampere, that's going to be 2 into 10 power minus 7 Newton per meter. Okay, next question, formula number 12, torque. Torque, it's going to be I V A sin theta. Torque is a vector quantity. Sin product wherever you are getting, you can take it as a vector quantity. The same, it is going to be right. We can write as in a magnetic dipole moment. So IA small m B sin theta. This also is going to be the vector. That means m is equal to IA. In case one, it's n number of turns means, so you can take it as a 14th formula. Small m is equal to IA, I said, with the number of turns. Okay, in case it's a solenoid coil means you will write with the number of turns. Okay, now this unit will be ampere meter square, ampere meter square. Okay, the same formula only. So in case the same formula, they are asking what is the electrostatic, so what is the potential energy? Potential energy is equal to minus mb cos theta. The same formula with the cos theta means it's going to be the energy. It's going to be scalar quantity. Scalar quantity. So we are discussing all the formulas present in magnetic effect of electric current. It's very, very useful for you. Okay. The next thing, formula number 15. Moving coil galvanometer. So current is directly proportional to angle of twisting in a coil, moving coil. Okay, so I is equal to constant. I am taken here constant is a g times of theta. Finally I is equal to k divided by nba. K is a constant. Okay, so like this will get I is equal to this much. So I is directly proportional to the theta, angle of twisting in a galvanometer. Okay, so then under this current sensitivity, so galvanometer is in a current sensitivity, so theta divided by I is equal to nba divided by r, current sensitivity equation. The same formula may be voltage sensitivity. Moving coil galvanometer, there are two parts there. Voltage sensitivity. If they asked voltage sensitivity, voltage sensitivity, so the same formula you should write in a different way, that I am going to tell you. Theta divided by V, same formula. So we have this formula. So formula we having like this, it's K. Okay, we having like this, into R is going to be given as a voltage sensitivity. Okay, so theta divided by IR, it's going to be V is equal to IR, it's going to be voltage sensitivity, K divided nba divided by KR, simple, voltage sensitivity. Formula 19. Formula 19. Galvanometer to ammeter. So we will know already, we can convert galvanometer to ammeter. Now what is the formula? Galvanometer to ammeter. So if you want to convert galvanometer to ammeter, you should connect the low resistance in parallel. That is the thing, shunt resistance. The most of the current will be flowing through the low resistance. Okay, very few current will be flowing in a galvanometer, because our ultimate aim to protect the galvanometer, it is I minus Ig, current flowing through the shunt resistance, the maximum current here I. So Ig current is flowing here, remaining current will be flowing through this circuit. Okay, so now what is the equation when the galvanometer is converting ammeter? S is equal to Ig, Rg is a galvanometer resistance, Rg is a galvanometer resistance divided by I minus Ig. it is the formula we can use to find the shunt resistance. It's a parallel resistance. So 1 by total resistance is equal to 1 by low resistance plus 1 divided by galvanometer resistance. Okay, this formula when we are modifying this formula, we'll get as the galvanometer resistance is equal to galvanometer resistance, total resistance is equal, total resistance is equal to galvanometer resistance, shunt resistance divided by galvanometer resistance plus shunt resistance. This is what we'll get. Shunt resistance is going to be resistance in low. Okay, that's it. Next, formula number 19. So I'm converting galvanometer to the voltmeter. Galvanometer to the voltmeter. So galvanometer with the high resistance in series. High resistance in series, I am taking galvanometer resistance as a RG. It's going to be shunt resistance. So what is the total resistance is going to be V divided by Ig, because according to the Ohm's law, V divided by I is equal to R, is equal to Rg. The same formula, resistance in voltmeter is equal to Rg plus Rh. So why this formula I am given? No, because it's in series, you should add the resistance. In parallel, you should divide the resistance. Okay, so this will get the voltage in galvanometer to voltmeter. The next one, magnetic dipole moment. When the electron act in a loop, okay, when the electron act in a loop in an atom, when the electron acting in the current loop will get as a magnetic dipole moment. I am taken that value is a mu. Okay, otherwise small m only, but in this concept we are taken as a mu, n e h divided by 2 pi m. It is a 2 pi m. Okay, so it's a magnetic dipole moment when the electron moving in a circular orbit. Okay, so it is a minimum value. When it's going to be minimum? No, when it is n is equal to 1, that is a magnetic dipole moment will become as a minimum in first orbit. Okay, so E h divided by 4 pi m. The same formula we can call, it is going to be Bohr magneton. Okay, thank you for watching my video. If you like my channel, please subscribe. Thank you.